I hear you low though. Maybe I can try to put you higher.
Let me see if it's my sound gate. 1 second. How about now? Is this better?
Yeah, but wait, I'm gonna put you slightly higher.
Okay.
It should be fine now. It's good.
All right. So coming off of today's win, how are you feeling? Oh,
Feeling good for the players mostly. I think it was a very nerve-wracking day for the players. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves.
mhm.
So I'm feeling good mostly because I know how much it means to them. Yeah.
So now, obviously, with having that 2-0 lead and then going into game three and then losing, how did you kind of like refocus the players or like talk to them to help them kind of like calm down slash uh, refocus slash recenter?
Uh, I mean, it's mostly through just talking about the next game.
Mhm.
What are the plans? What you need to focus on. Also, if you have to, if some of the players might need to say certain things to get out of their chest, so they can play and focus better for the next game. Can be important at times, but yeah, I think it mostly comes down to talking about draft for next game, preferences, what to change eventually, also which side we prefer. Um, so yeah, refocusing is mostly about thinking about the next step, right?
Mhm. So now looking back at the series, obviously there's takeaways from each match, but what are some of the things that stood out to you that the team did really well, and some of those things that you feel like they need to work on a little bit?
Mm, I mean, some of the early I think were like quite shaky. I
Hmm.
would say. Um, I will need to like rewatch, but I think it can also be a lot due to like nerves, possibly. I think just like just some like laning errors, and later on in the series, probably like third game, maybe being a bit like too cocky,
Hmm.
in trying to win it. So I would say it can be like a bit of uncharacteristic mistakes, and depends on lane to lane, right? But can be about planning as well for the early game, planning what we want to do, what can they do, etc. Um, so early game can for sure be a lot better. I think even though we are behind, like we had good fights for the most part. Not every fight, but for the most part, it was pretty decent.
Hmm.
Um, so I think as long as we have good planning on early and until like first tier one, around Herald, on Drake, whatever, I think we can have a good shot.
Hmm. So now with facing Cloud9, I
Hmm.
think that's correct, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, how do you kind of like mentally prepare that? Because yesterday's match, they very much seemed very dominant, like they were the actual first seed, like almost sort of like how Immortals was at the time, if you remember when they went with the 16-0 sweep. Um, Obviously, you want to hold cards to the chest, be like, well, we're not banning this or banning that. But
I mean,
like team wise,
we played like a few scrims against C9, so I would say, I mean, they have seen a lot from us, like not just like scrims, obviously, but from like the last BO.
hmm
I think we know what to expect, like from them as well. Generally, like I think we have had a pretty stage-wise. We've had a good record against them.
hmm
Obviously, it's very different in a best of five settings, and how you adapt and prep for it. Um, so I think C9 it for sure like could go either way. But I would say that we can match up pretty well against them.
hmm
Um, and I believe that now, I mean, hopefully, you never know to, or it's gonna how players are gonna deal with that, but at least there won't be like this pressure of like qualifying for worlds. So now it's like a different type of pressure, and maybe it can be good, maybe it can be bad for them.
Hmm.
But as long as they still have like this will to
Fight, kind of.
like fight and just you know take like the first spot. So as long as they have that, I think we have like a really good shot against C9. Um, but yeah, it depends on what type of pressure they put on themselves, regardless of how we practice and things like that. I think it's gonna come down to how much they actually want to win against them,
Hmm.
because the pressure is gonna be gone, right? And here they are playing with pressure, and they really wanted to make it. Now the pressure is pretty much gone. I think it can be beneficial or not completely.
Right. I know. I think the commentators are saying that no matter what, they'll be at the summer finals, either because I think it's next week. It's Cloud9 versus NRG, and then winner of that goes to the actual like number one seed, I
Yeah,
think, or
yeah, I
and
think so.
and then the loser goes to the lower bracket, and then has to figure out if they're going for second, third, or fourth. Um, so, as a former player yourself, going into the coaching role, how does it really transition slash feel?
Um, well, it's a bit different right now because we have a lot of people in the staff ourselves, and I'm mostly focused on top. Um, I would say, I mean, I would wish to like do eventually more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I have a good relationship with Dokla. I think I understand him pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully I can just like we can just like go further for NA, and I can like prep him enough for Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I think like for the rest of like for LCS, it's gonna come down to him how much he wants it. Um, and for Worlds, hopefully I can help through my experience.
Mm-hmm. Help prepare him for that different kind of grand stage, kind of.
Hmm.
So, not LCS related, but still League of Legends. What originally got you into League?
Um, I mean, what got me into League? I played a lot of games. I mean, growing up, I played side with CS, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played a lot of Dota, like for 10 years. Um, and then when League first came out, some of the people from Dota tried off League of Legends, and some of my friends were trying it. So started playing League, and because I had a lot of experience in Dota, I managed to be really good, really fast,
Mm-hmm.
and not that many like most people from Dota, especially like good players, they thought of League as like just a bad game design, whatever, like not as appealing to them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for me, it was easy and good. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first champion you ever made?
I remember the first champion that I played in my very first game of League. First champion I have mained. I'm not sure. I think I used to. I liked playing bot lane at first. I
Mm-hmm.
think I was playing ADs. Uh, Maybe like Tristana. I think I was playing.
And who was the first champion you played overall?
I played Shogat actually the very first game, and it was I played Shogat bot lane. Um, I don't remember with what, but because my friend that played like a few games before that, he told me that like Shogat Q was like basically Conca Q in Dota. So and I used to like main Conca a lot in Dota. Um, so I try. I mean, obviously, like the rest of the spells are very different.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember him telling me that, and then I tried Shogat for the first time.
Okay. Um, now, who are some of your favorite champions overall?
Some of my favorite champions. I think when I was playing a lot last year or two, I very much enjoy playing Yon.
Hmm.
Um, I played a bunch of Yon. I think it's quite fun to play. Um, what else? I've been trying to play Cassante quite a bit this year because since I didn't play him competitively, I wanted to have like somewhat of like an understanding of
Hmm.
like the champions and things like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't play that much League anymore.
Hmm.
Um, but from the last time I played a lot, probably Yon. I think Yon is pretty fun to play.
Okay. Since you're not playing League much anymore, what are you playing, or are you just focusing on other hobbies?
Mostly just like I mean, watching League, trying to watch a bit of other region. But in terms of like games, I mostly play a tiny bit of League. Like I've been playing in the 2v2 mode in League, for example,
Hmm.
but it's like I count it as like a different. It's not like
It's a
real
different
League
style,
anymore.
yes.
Yeah, it's a different style. So I've been enjoying playing the 2v2 mode. And aside from that, I just play some Valorant.
Hmm. So when not playing League or watching League, what are some of the other hobbies you have?
Outside of gaming,
Hmm.
I mean, I very much enjoy just music. And in LA, there's like a lot of like in my city in France, unless I go to Paris, I don't get to see that many, DJs or things like that. So would be just, meeting, like going to parties where I very much wouldn't have the opportunity to go,
Hmm.
like, and seeing this type of people live performing. So very much like music. When I get back to when I get back to my home in Bordeaux, I eventually want to try to get into it.
Hmm.
So we'll see about that, but it's something that I'm thinking about.
Okay. Uh, do you have any favorite music genre in particular, or is it more like DJ techno remix style?
I mean, I like house.
Hmm.
I like house. I like techno, house and techno. I would say for the most part.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, there's
Uh,
like a lot of like different genre in techno, so I wouldn't be able to pin- pinpoint you to there's so many like sub genre, right?
like
In terms of music, but but yeah.
my one friend jokes about how one genre is just the boots and cats genre, or it's like
Mm.
boots and cats and boots.
Oh
It's the
yeah,
beat
I see, I
style.
see. I like
Um,
like with like a little bit of lyrics, not too much,
mhm.
uh but
Like a good
but
bit of balance that somebody can like grab a hold of because they know
yeah.
it. And
But my favorite artist by far is Trime, which is a French DJ,
hmm.
and yeah, he does like techno, trance a bit. Um, he have like different style to it, and I very much like a lot of his music.
Okay, I'll have to look him up. Um, Favorite foods.
Favorite foods. I mean, I'm very not picky about food. I would say favorite foods. It's probably sushi in Japan though. Uh, I think it's very different than anywhere else where you'd get sushi very much.
Hmm.
So I would say just Japanese food overall. Um, Sushi, ramen, etc. You can go to any restaurants or whatever
Hmm.
at the corner, and it's gonna be good food for the most part. But I'm not picky. I just like yeah, Japanese foods, Italian. We eat a lot of Italian food in France. I would say it's like the most common, right? Um, so yeah, probably I would say sushi.
Okay. Any favorite candies or like sweets?
Candies. I generally prefer like salty food over like
Hmm.
sweets, candies. I don't have. Actually, I've tried an American candy. What is it called? Like sour.
Was it the trolleys that Digon had last week,
Uh,
or like Sour Patch
Sour
Kids? Or
Patch. Some. What is it? I don't know. Most people, probably like American people, know what I'm talking about.
are they
Um,
are they the little humanoid sour candies?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
Sour
yeah.
Patch Kids.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids. That's pretty good from what I've tried here.
Hmm.
Any,
Cats. Oh,
yeah,
are they telling you to wrap up?
I need to go. Oh,
Hi. We can wrap.
yeah,
All right.
I
Have
need
a
to
good
go.
rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good day. Take
Have a
care.
good day and good luck next week. Next question. Just saw this. Just saw this, but can do. Thanks.